kind of an overreach by government right now. And this overreach has us concerned, as it should. This overreach is nonstop. Just think about what has happened in the last few years. I want to just start with the Hunter Biden laptop that you couldn't talk about. It was like the one thing that could not be said. Don't forget what happened in the New York Post. Their Twitter account got shut down because they reported on the Hunter Biden laptop. And then you had this big letter with all the former CIA guys, all the deep state professionals saying this was Russian disinformation, that the Hunter Biden laptop was all made up.
Do you believe me yet?
And they had the cover that, oh, it's that crazy Rudy Giuliani that's bringing this thing forward. This is all Russian disinformation. So you better shut it down. You better shut it down fast. And that's exactly what all the social media companies did. Look, I ran into it right on Facebook. I personally suppressed for one whole year. And they came around and told me that they were suppressing me because we had a story about the laptop, and that was quote unquote fake news and a whole host of other things that they labeled it. So that landed me in jail. I'd never been in jail before like that for a whole year.
It's over. We are screwed.
This is what they did. So that story, which turns out to be true, was completely shut down while simultaneously the same cast of characters, Morrell, Brennan, and Blinken, I got to get to him in a minute, the same cast of characters were the ones that were saying that the Russian dossier was true. They wanted us to believe the Russians had planted Donald Trump there because they had the goods on him.
The Russians?
How mixed up is this? And it gets even scarier. It gets even scarier because when you find out who was behind this letter that was the game changer, really, because you couldn't tell the truth during the whole election season, the game changer really came from none other than Antony Blinken. Antony Blinken, our current Secretary of State, ladies and gentlemen, that did a horrendous job getting us out of Afghanistan, that continues to do a horrendous job in terms of negotiating the relationship with Taiwan and China. And let's be honest, clearly failed in any kind of diplomatic effort to prevent war between Ukraine and Russia. Hundreds of thousands of lives being lost when maybe if you had a more talented Secretary of State, you could have avoided that situation. The guy is clearly, and now that I know that he was behind this letter, he is clearly no good, as John McCain once told us years ago when the guy was up for Deputy Secretary of State in the Obama administration. Listen to this.
Discuss my opposition to the pending vote concerning Mr. Tony Blinken, who is not only unqualified, but in fact, in my view, one of the worst selections of a very bad lot that this president has chosen.
I'll tell you, he was right on that. Think about those words and what McCain had to say.